Hey, we took Tiger over Mrs. Claus and Sir Galahad. I think we'll just buy the cat. The cat seems to be better with most things. I'm sort of tempted to grab the scroll here. I think I might. No, we really want to treasure fast, so we're not going to grab the scroll. So, if we had got the goat, we would have tied here. Unfortunately, we lose. It's mostly good for them because they get the full glory. Okay, this is a fine board because we can actually grab anything here. We're definitely going to play the Witch's Brew. I think the decision is, do we want to grab the Wizard's Familiar? We just want the bigger character. I think Wizard's Familiar gets a little bigger over the course of the game. You know, if it gets to a 3-3, it's already bigger than the Billy Goat. However, if you upgrade the... So unlike Storm King, this is an effect that takes place when you cast a spell. So if you were to combine it, it doesn't get a greater upgrade bonus from all of the things. I don't believe. I think right here we're gonna grab the familiar, and I think it's worth grabbing the 2/2 and doing a roll maybe. Is that wacky? Wow, we're seeing a lot of Humpty Dumptys. And I think we're just going to grab a Mad Mims. I'm not sure if this was worth it. We didn't really want to buy anything there, but we could have just taken like the Blind Mouse. Getting a Mad Mims is better here, but I don't know how much better. And taking 2 damage isn't nothing. You know, just what, 5% of your health. So, I think you want to be a little bit cautious with that. You know, a lot of games will end and you'll be within 1 or 2 health of surviving. So it's not something just to throw away, you know, without regard, but I think in general, there's a good argument to be made that it's worth it here to get the 2/2 boost. On board, a 2/2 at this point is basically like another character so far. And here, I think the easiest thing is just take Spellweaver, and then we get to cast a spell. We'd love one of these. Unfortunately, we got the one we didn't want, but if this was a world where we got what we want, things would be very different. And I think we'll set up like this. Excuse me. We'd rather have a ranged character attack early and get the buff, and we still are able to get the cat having the buff here, the black cat, and then these Wizard's Familiars are getting large enough that I think they can hold their own. Over here, we'd like to get some treasures before we pass, level 3 and 4. Leave that in the dust, and then this power does nothing, but we're not going to sit here and buy a tiny just to try to get a level 2 treasure. Level 3 treasure is really where it's at with, well, everything, but particularly with the Celestial Tiger. Ooh, these are some not great hits for us. However, they have an entire backline of 0-3s, so we'll take this down pretty easily. Yeah, that was actually some not great hits for us, but we, Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to, right, this can't be good. Like, we'll buff 3 things, but I don't think we can win a fight here. And I don't know if we want to get to level 4 that badly. Because we no longer get, it's so hard not to buy this for me. I feel so compelled for no reason. There's nothing better here, so we'd be, yeah, I'm gonna grab it. I don't think that's the right decision, but it didn't take a lot of convincing for me to do it, so. Sharon, has had a few rounds to get their buffs. The +2, +1. And that could be an issue for us. It really depends on how much the cat and the Spellweaver can take down. Obviously we're not going to have a full board because we just spent. However, if we do lose this round and get to level 4, we'll start seeing some more powerful characters before the rest of the board. I don't hate our chances here. Yeah, that was a good hit for us. I think we might take this down, right? Yeah, we're going to. We got some good hits. We got the XP. That's pretty huge for us. It is kind of weird. Usually with Tiger you don't want to, rush past anything, but you definitely don't want to just stay on a low level for no particular reason. I feel like Grimsoul is really good with a lot of Slay triggers. We just don't have any Slay triggers yet. It does work with Brave Princess. Huh. Is there a way to get there? Maybe? Do we just grab the Brave Princess and grab the Slay character? Can we just do this? And we'll get a level 3 treasure that will be doubled up. My other thought is, do we sell the Tiny and the Black Cat now that we're done with them? I think we do. Let me give this +7/+7. This makes us more likely to win the fight. I think we get +7/+7 instead of the, I think, 2/2 or the 7/4. Although, centralizing it, has some implications. We also get +2 +1/+1 on each of these, and +1/+0 on this. The hope is that the Grimsoul triggers, and then we still have this alive to trigger. That's a good hit for us. Yeah, we'll get the 2 triggers. That's a very nice hit. Yeah, we'll take this one down. Well, we've gotten some very lucky fights so far. And so here's another Slay trigger. I think we're gonna cast this spell. Oh, we'll cast it on a Archer. I don't think we need another Mims. We will triple this up. And these are sort of profoundly uninteresting. We're not going to do little treant things. Jumping beam with gold carry. I've seen people do well with the gold carrying over, but those people, distinct from me, because I haven't been able to do well with it. We can't afford, so we can afford one of the 3 drops. So there's a pig, and there's an adventurer. We could do something like this. We're gonna hit 4 after this, gain 1 XP. Yeah, we can try it. I don't know that it's good. The other thing was grabbing the pig. Pig's slightly better in a fight, but ultimately probably doesn't matter a ton. Ooh, we got the Slay, that's huge. Okay, so the good news, wow, that was not the good news, although we get another Slay, wow. You know what, that's fine, honestly. This is all fine. We, get some health. Okay, Sarcophagus is always very good. We don't have very much. So do I want Sarcophagus? I don't know what this does if you. I think Sarcophagus is just too good with Tiger. I think we'll take the cat because of that. We're done with the adventurer, in that she's not doing anything. So we'll grab the sheep here. And here's another Grimsoul that sort of just profoundly doesn't fit into anything we're doing. What if these were all 5 drops? Anything interesting? If only these were evil. We'll see what comes for us on 6. But we definitely want maybe this in front. And this, I guess. Yeah, this will give us the best chance. We'll throw around a couple triggers. We only have 4 of these will spawn though. And then on level 6, hopefully we'll find some greater maybe like an Angry Pigs, 3 3 angry pigs, 3 big pigs. Definitely something pig related. Couldn't tell you which one it's called. Ooh, that wasn't our favorite hit there, but throwing, you can see how much throwing around these things just really can take down boards early on. Yeah, so we'll win this round. Do a little damage. Huh. The problem with this... Yeah, so I don't know how these interact, honestly, because this is a... So when this sleigh triggers, it requires a copy of the slain character. This doesn't necessarily have a slain character. So, I think we're not going to read too much on that. I think I will buff the character. We're looking for... Sorry, we are looking... Oh, that would have been a nice one to cast. And I think I'm actually going to sell these two. So what I'm trying to say, and I'm acknowledging I'm not doing a great job of it, is that we are trying to find, and we're going to pause here because we just buy the coin, gives us a little bit of a buff on a couple things. So I think I lost my train of thought. Oh, because we're trying to buy high level characters right now, we don't want to cast an expensive spell, which means we're fine buying the cheap spell just to get the buffs on our two characters. Rather than look like something for a polymorph or a zap or something to win the fight, we're trying to, we wanted to get the pumpkins and the medusas and the angry pigs and things along those lines. So it would have been probably been a mistake to try and, hold out for a better spell, basically. Was my thinking. Could be wrong, obviously. But, Fairy Godmother does counteract the Sarcophagus in, a reasonable way, but these are just, two whatevers. That's not going to be enough to do anything, I don't think, at least. If the pumpkin dies, we'll actually do even more damage to them because, we have a few things spawning. Oh, and they get knocked down to 1. Excuse me, sorry. So we'll cast the spell, just to get the buffs. It has the same effect as doing a roll here. Even if we cast a Masquerade, these only go to... If these were 5s, we'd try it just to see if we could find some 6s. I don't think we care too much about any of these. Again, we're looking for mostly evil characters. Now we've cast some spells, but that's not good enough. I don't think we need a Sea Terror. We want evil characters with a little oomph to them, I think. Do we want the Medusa? Medusa's not great to triple, but isn't bad, I'd say. I'd like to get rid of this Mad Mims. Yeah, we'll take it. I don't feel great about it. And we could have obviously grabbed the Apple Bomb there, but I wasn't super sure. What if we sold the Mims and the... Are we ready to sell this? I don't know. I don't think we're ready to put the Medusa in yet. Do we grab the Spell Weaver? Yeah, I think we do. That might have been a silly pause. Excuse me. It's hard to tell. Oh, we'd love if this Juliet could just get... Yes, that's so good for us. The Juliet getting sheeped, or was it stoned? Juliet getting stoned means that the Romeo won't spawn her, meaning we do a little bit extra damage. We are giving her a lot of buffs, however she's only at 7 health, so if she gets knocked out here, which she does, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you scale, if you're getting knocked out, obviously. And I think the reason we take the Spellweaver here is because if we get a level 3 treasure, it's obviously very strong, but it also gets doubled. So we'll find doing that, and again, we'll cast a cheap spell because we're still looking for some of the more powerful characters. Oh, we don't have slays, we're not going for that. Nothing super interesting so far. We're trying to stick to evil characters, obviously, and okay, we found our pumpkin, so we're going to be forced to pause here. Now this is buffing some things. However, I'm not sure that it's worth it here as opposed to just moving these things around and putting a second Medusa. Right, what if we did this? I mean, that's a little extra damage, but Medusa's so powerful here. You know, we keep the same number of evil characters on the board. We could obviously try another Spellweaver, but a 2-3 is just so much smaller than a 21-21, even though this is, you know, wholly unimpressive at this point. And I mean, the idea with these comps is just get the pumpkins in and just do a ton of pings. You might even better have 2 pumpkins than 1 upgraded pumpkin, although if the time comes, we'll probably go for the upgraded pumpkin. This could be very bad here because if the dragon manages to take out... Okay, it didn't. So the issue would have been if the dragon took out our... What is it? The pumpkin. We could have been in big trouble. And we should take this down because we will have some, you know, shots that go out, and because we spawned, we went from 1 character to more, we actually took her out of the game. So pretty good for us. You know, obviously this sarcophagus doesn't scale infinitely. We'll actually take the cat's call too because it does trigger the sarcophagus a bunch of times, and that seems worthwhile. And when you're doing, you know, sort of silly nonsense, it's not the worst idea to go all in on silly nonsense. And I think right here, is the pumpkin better than a 23-23? Yeah, right? This is our best bit. So when this dies, it throws around 3-3. It's a 6-6. And then it summons a second thing that throws around 6 damage. So that's 12 damage, 14 damage overall. This does 23 damage. 23 is more. However, this contributes to a spawner. However, there's going to be enough spawning. I think this is still better for now. We really want 3 Angry Pigs, and we want to triple this Medusa because this Medusa is just not doing much. I'd love to triple the Spellweaver too because getting another 3 would be great, or getting like a 6. You know, you either want like 3s or 6s. Getting the 4s and 5s isn't bad, but you know, they're not being doubled. Ooh, dragons are really good against us. Really, really good against us here. We got fortunate there. The issue we're going to have is that they have a very large range character, which is always an issue. That's sort of never not been an issue for any board. We do take out a lot of stuff here. We'll just have to see how many things the pumpkin ends up spawning. Oh, actually, yes, summoning a bunch of things. Oh, I didn't even consider that. Yeah, that was a sort of a net negative for us there. Fortunately, this itself doesn't have Slay, meaning that it's not gaining the... It's not getting 2-2 every time it kills one of our things. And here we'll take it down. We'll actually take Sad Jacket out of the game, which is great for us because he was getting a little bit strong for our liking. We'd like him to not be strong at all, and he was stronger than that. So, Wretched Mummy seems fine here. Apple Bomb seems fine here. Both pretty good cards. I think Mummy's good if we're on the strategy of throwing a bunch of spells around, and I think so is Apple Bomb. And if we're just throwing damage around, we'll take something that throws some damage around. And I think what we want to do is something along this alignment. So the idea is that this is good at being attacked. Let's put it near the end. Having 2 Medusas meant that we weren't getting a ton of value. Oh, you know, it wasn't likely that both of them attacked, and the second one's way less likely to attack than the first one. So we get that out of there. We still have enough spawns that the pumpkin should trigger in full. Their board is not weak, but... Oh, they did polymorph one of our better characters. It will depend on how this Cupid does. Fortunately, the Cupid just takes out our character. They do have some nice range characters, obviously. but we do throw around a lot of pings. Yeah, I think we'll be good here. And we'll spawn enough to actually do a little bit extra damage, which is nice. They don't have a very big board yet. And, you know, the time for having a big board is fast approaching. Oh, this is very nice for us. We get another level 3 treasure. I don't love any of these really. So I think we'll just take the spells, cost 2 less. We'll see if we can get a slightly better spell. Oh, we'll take the buff and the you know, and the health. We don't love that. Again. We'll give a random character. Yeah, we'll grab that. It's obviously not as strong as a polymorph, but I don't know if we can count on seeing the polymorphs. Ooh, so Rotten Apple is really, really good with our current comp. The reason being, yeah, I'm going to save here, because reducing to the 1 usually has the risk of just never hitting it and it getting an attack off on you, but between the Mummy and the Sarcophagus pings, oh, and actually this reduces our spells by 4, doesn't it? So yeah, polymorph's even better. Oh, having a good boy is so powerful, but getting it reduced to, so the -12 doesn't just kill it, it makes it a 0/0, so it doesn't actually throw around any buff. Wow, so this could be bad for them. It looks like we'll win this fight, and actually if the pumpkins spawn and we have enough stuff on board, especially including the buffed character, sorry, the upgraded character, we'll win this, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. So this was a pretty convincing victory. Sarcophagus with Tiger is just incredibly strong, in my experience. It's one of the just easiest ways to really take advantage of the Tiger power. Evil comps usually don't scale that well, and this comp, you know, sort of doubles down on that. Because, you know, eventually if, you know, everyone has 200s, throwing around 6 damage every time one of your things dies isn't that powerful. But we saw there, you know, their board was closer to like 40s, which is obviously much bigger than our board. But when you throw around 6 damage, you know, however, 7 times plus the spawn, so 8, you know, these have the potential to spawn, you know, 6 more things or 7 more things. You're really adding up a lot of damage. Even the Mummy doing 4 to everything, you know, becomes quite significant. And, you know, these other powers were not, this was a combat, but it only gave 8/8. And the Merlin spell was, or Merlin's hat. We didn't even use the doubling. I didn't even realize it doubled, so I spent it on a 2 gold spell. But yeah, this every time I've done well with Tiger, or almost every time, Sarcophagus has been a huge part of that. So I definitely recommend, you know, if you're going Tiger, trying out the Sarcophagus and try. You know, we only had I think 3 evil cards when we went to it, and we played a, you know, a 1/1 Black Cat for a good portion of the game with a good amount of success. So yeah, thanks for watching. Really good game. We got a win of the day, and we get a lot more rating points now, I think, because the ego reset. And actually, I think we got enough dust that I can buy a new character, so that's exciting. There's a few that I've been wanting to try out and just haven't had enough yet.